Hello, this is Amy with Create with Amy, and we're going to begin our new craft today with a deli basket. And I'm using the welcome sign off of one of the Dollar Tree windmills. And I've got some florals from Dollar Tree as well. And I'm using some of that jute, not twine, but the more of a fabric. And I'm going to put in the inside of the little deli tray some foam for the floral foam, and then I'll flip it over, and that's what we're going to be putting our the flowers in on the other side. I see it fell out there, so hold it in this time. There we go. Okay, I did trim it right down the middle just because it was a little wide. And I hot glued that down, and that'll just kind of cover up some of those holes. Okay, and I tore apart just some of the flowers, and I'm just popping them in there and making things, putting them where it looks good, and then kind of using the floral foam as something to anchor them to with the glue. And I did use some of the sticks that came with the flowers just to make holes in some of them, just kind of showing you that. And also using it to hold down the little stem while it's hot. Using some of the yellow, it's King's Gold, and I'm using a sponge and going to put that on there. And once I got that all painted, I wanted it less yellow. And so what I used is I grabbed some silver lining paint from Waverly and added that to it just to kind of mute that yellow a little bit. It was a little bright for my taste. To give it something to hold on to and elevate it a little bit, I put some wooden beads on there and then attached with the hot glue and just set it in there and held it down. We've got a train going by. I had a loose little red petal there, so I put that on. And I wanted a bow, so I chose some of the, it's a buffalo check gingham print, and it's blue, and made a little ribbon with that. And there it is. I have this little bird cage, and I put it on there, and I thought it looked really cute. Just a nice little welcome sign. And it did look cute on a door as well. I thought it turned out cute. Okay, time for the next craft. So using one of the little mini cutting boards from Dollar Tree, this DIY is really quick and easy. They come with a little plastic gun, and so just remove that. And they have these little towels, they're buffalo check and they had red and blue, so I chose a blue one. And I needed something to put it on to wrap around because cutting that kitchen towel left a lot of stray edges, and so I needed something to wrap it around so the edges were tucked underneath. So I found a piece of cardboard and cut it to size. And it looks like it was 5 and 7.5 inches. And I cut down the towel and wrapped it around it and secured it with the glue. And I did cut off that serged edge just so it wouldn't give it such a, wouldn't plump it up on one end. So I cut it completely around there. And I had to readjust it. That's why it looks like it's been tore off, because it was. And then just trim a little bit away from your corners and then tack them down, and it seemed to sit down. It was fine. It turned out fine. Okay, once you've got that on, just put it onto the cutting board with your hot glue. And I just held it down in place. And then this is a little, I think it's a tiered tray. It's just small. I got that at Dollar Tree as well. It's got a little bit of a cute little rooster on there. And I put that on. I told you this was really an easy one. Just secure that down. And the inspiration for these colors is the Pioneer Woman. It's got a lot of reds, yellows, blues. So I whipped out, got some yellow ribbon, just tied them all together, and just made one bow and trimmed the edges. Really cute, fast, and easy. And off camera, I did trim off each end better, and so it hung down really nice. Another cute, quick DIY. On to the next DIY. Let's check it out. Okay. More flowers, and I found this little flower pot watering can on Etsy. So I think it was a little about like $3. Downloaded it, cut it out with some red vinyl, and I'm going to be putting it on glass. So I used the mirror effect. So you cut it out in the opposite. It looks backwards, but because I'm going to put it directly on the glass, then it works out perfectly. And here I am just putting it on the glass, and I'm taking the transfer tape off there, and just inspect it to make sure all the bubbles and everything is out. So far, so good. I had done the weeding and everything was done. Okay, so now I am taking the Waverly white chalk paint, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and so we have inks that we can ink our ink pads with. And the color I'm going to choose is the Balmy Blue. The reason I did this is because it'll match the paper that I'm matting this print onto. I used approximately 40 drops of our ink, the re-inker, and one tablespoon of the Waverly white chalk paint. And I'm just showing how it matched the cardstock from Stampin' Up. And this is showing the layers. The white was just a standard cardstock, and I basically trimmed off a 1/4 inch from the blue and then another 1/4 inch from the white. And those are my layers. I also have in my Etsy shop some of this buffalo check gingham red fabric, and I am putting this on the backing of the 11 by 14 picture frames that you get at Dollar Tree. And I've got my layers in place, and here I've got, which I thought was the completed piece, but I wanted a little more color, so I put some crushed curry cardstock behind the Love Grows here, and then I decided to add a little more yellow because that is, you know, in the Pioneer Woman, she's got a lot of yellow, red, blue, and that's why I put those inside, and I think it added a lot to this piece. And just add a few pieces of the greenery as needed, and there it is, all completed and very sweet and cute. I love it. I love the Pioneer Woman's decor. Sorry about Maggie in the background there.